If last year felt like a blur of distraction, burnout, and bad habits, this is your chance to take it all back. You see, I went from having $3,000 in my bank account to then completely rebuilding my life and now running a multi-million-dollar business. This is the full comeback plan on how to take your life back, mentally, physically, and financially. First up is to stop altering your brain. You do not need drugs, so stop doing them. You cannot change your life if you are high while trying. There is nothing good that comes on the other side of taking drugs. Even just the mentality of thinking that you have some sort of dependency because you need something in order to perform. You need something in order to feel okay. You need something in order to help you out. You have everything that you need at your fingertips to be able to create the life that you want. So thinking that you have to pop some pill, thinking that you have to use marijuana or anything else that forces you to be in a different mindset is what's actually holding your incredible brain from actually being able to create the life that you want, because it's an inhibitor. It's something that's getting in the way of the actual you. And it is so easy in today's society, and I'm so okay with getting canceled for this, to just make it seem like I can pop an antidepressant and all of a sudden I'm gonna be happy. I promise you, you're not. We are being sold lies. This is not the truth. And for people who really want to get a handle on their life, they do not need drugs in order to do it. Now, you might be thinking that you know some high-performing people that do use drugs. Do not think for a second that just because they use drugs, that's actually why they're high-performing. These two things are not connected. So antidepressants, marijuana, recreational drugs, anything that you think you need to take in order for you to get an edge off, in order for you to perform better, take that mindset away, because you don't actually need them. What you don't realize is these substances are hijacking your perceptions and your thoughts. Drugs do not make you more creative. They are just big distractions. Eliminate anything that interrupts your natural thoughts from you thinking something and taking massive action. This drug conversation is an important conversation to me, because most people just say, you need to change your mindset, you need to get healthy, but they're not actually willing to attack the thing that is holding the person back from being able to do the things that are required to get them to where they want to go. So now that the drugs are out of the way, let's talk about what you're going to replace a bad habit with. A good habit, something that makes you stronger. The right way to remove anything is to remove it and instantly replace it with something else. So get addicted to the gym, not distraction. When I was first starting my reboot, it was all about getting into the gym as fast as I possibly could in the morning. I knew that if I put it off in the afternoon, if I was going to do an evening workout, make some time throughout the day, it just wasn't going to get done. And forcing myself to wake up at 5:30 every single morning in order to get my butt into the gym made it so that I couldn't do anything very fun the night before. I had to be in bed by 9:30 because I didn't want to have to wake up early and be exhausted and tired because I made the commitment to be in the gym. Your ability to take control of how you look, how you feel in your body, how strong you are, the confidence that you can have, all by going to the gym, is a game changer. Getting into the gym and associating yourself with people who do that discipline daily will change how you view yourself. It just feels good. You fit in your clothes nicely. There's nothing better than having a great pair of pants actually fit the way that you want them to. The nice thing about forcing yourself to go to a Pilates class or meeting a friend at the gym is you cannot be high and have the remnants of that still lingering over while you're on a Pilates reformer or while you're benching 50 pounds. I would like to be able to bench 50 pounds. I'm not quite there yet, but you get the point. You can't have that life while also having this life of making yourself well and getting stronger. These two things do not collide. So you're forcing yourself to get in an environment that is like the environment you're trying to create. You just haven't created it yet, and it's not a discipline. So book the workout class in order to fill this void in your life. Next up, we have to audit. Now, this is not the traditional audit. I'm not gonna make you pull out a set of financials, but I am gonna make you audit the people you're around, because the people you're around are either fueling your future or they are feeding your failure. Do an audit of who you spend your time with. When you think about the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with, are they assets to you or are they liabilities to you? Are they people who are going to help you feel inspired to take actions that are going to help you get to where you want to go? Or are they people that you feel like you really have to justify yourself to? The people you spend your time around will change your life, and it will either be for the positive or for the negative. Last night, I had a birthday dinner. I just turned the ripe age of 32. It's actually my birthday today. And we were celebrating last night, and I got a chance to look around at the people who were at this birthday dinner. And I had a moment of overwhelming emotion. I was just sitting there watching everybody talk, and it's almost like a movie scene where everything moved to slow motion. And I looked at each person that was sitting around the table and was so appreciative, like from the bottom of my heart, appreciative for the people who were there, because each one of them supports me in my goals and my dreams. They believe in me and actually see that I'm capable and it's possible for me to get to where I want to go. And they are also rooting for me, like real cheerleaders. And when they ask me the question of what is the next year going to bring for you, it's like, man, I can't wait for this thing to happen and this thing to happen. I'm going to spend my time here. And there was genuine interest and excitement in where I see my life going. And most importantly, all of the people would defend me. Think about that. I have people in my life who would defend me. They believe so much in me because they have consistency with me and they see who I am day in and day out, that they would be willing to go to bat for me because they know and trust the type of person that I am. You have to build that. That doesn't just happen. So when you think about the 5 people that you spend the most time around, do they defend you? Do they even defend themselves? Like sometimes you get yourself caught up with friends who they're cool people, but they don't have a backbone. They don't have opinions on something. They don't have a point of view. They don't really care about themselves, much less for you and for your goals and for your dreams. So this defending thing, this protecting thing is such an important quality, but you only get people in your life like that if you become the type of person who is trustworthy, who is consistent, who is building something great, who can be believed in, because you're not going to create great relationships with people who have real backbones unless you are the type of person who is a great person and has a real backbone and goes after massive, incredible, unbelievable targets. So when you do make this list of your friends, the 5 people, asset column, liability column. If they're in the liability column, I promise you, they will not help you be successful, be productive, and create the life that you want. So you have to figure out how to handle those people in your life. I'm not saying that you just stop being friends with them altogether, but I am saying, hey, maybe you should stop spending so much time with them because you're reducing your chances of getting unstuck. And if you're watching this, and you really do feel stuck, I have a feeling you wouldn't still be here if you didn't actually feel stuck. You really feel that painstaking stuck feeling. You have to create this environment that allows you to not be stuck any longer. And there is nothing that changes this faster than the people that you surround yourself with. Negative relationships keep you stuck in old patterns. And even one toxic friend can block you from reinventing yourself. So ask yourself if these people help you feel confident or make you feel sad when you're around them. It is so important to curate your friend group with brutal honesty. The next area of your comeback has to be your finances. You will not feel confident in your comeback if you do not have clarity on how you can make more money. And in order to make more money, you have to be the best of the best at what you do. I don't care what you do. You could be a salesperson, you could be a recruiter, you could be a head of operations, you could be in accounting, doesn't matter. What would it take for you to be the top 1% in your field? Who do you need to know? What questions do you have to ask? What content are you not familiar with? What the top 1% in your field is actually doing? To the extent you don't know these questions, you're not the top 1%. Maybe you have a lot of ego, you're thinking you're hot shit, you're doing real great, you're already cruising. If that's the case, but you're not actually clear on the criteria to become the 1%, your ego's too big. And your ego is what's going to keep you stuck. Check your ego at the door. Figure out in your field what the top 1% are doing and do that today. This is not a Monday thing. This is not a wait till over the weekend thing. What is required of you to be the top 1% in your field? The next area is targeting growth. So when you think about growth, How do you take growth and be in the top 1% so that you get paid disproportionately more than you're paid right now because you are the best in your field? You need to get the data and the understanding of what is actually required to be the top 1%. There's no better way to grow in 2025 than utilizing ChatGPT. I literally just had this conversation with one of my team members last week. We're going through a new set of challenges. This particular team member has a whole department that they need to do a massive overhaul in, and they felt a little overwhelmed because they don't have the knowledge, they don't understand how to make all of these changes. So I said, listen up, you're going to type into ChatGPT, what do I need to read, listen to, or watch at least for an hour every single day in order to get myself in the top 1% in this field. Create a syllabus for me and lay this out with links, with all references, so that I can use this as my study guide and keep me accountable. ChatGPT whipped this up in a matter of 15 seconds. And all of a sudden, there is a full list of the exact actions, data, characteristics that this person needs to embody and have and do in order to be the top 1%. Be the freaking best. But you might not know how to be the best. And in the past, it was a little challenging to figure this out. You had to read a bunch of books. There was a lot of data. There's so many YouTube videos out there. All of a sudden, ChatGPT can create a personalized roadmap for you to figure out the exact areas you need to grow in. And you can also give it feedback to say, this is where I'm at right now. So it customizes your learning plan. It has never been easier to grow and to learn than it is today. We are in an unprecedented time. So take advantage of this. But the way that you take advantage of it is by recognizing and owning the fact that you are going to be in the top 1%. You are never going to make a comeback if you do not master this final step, which is getting shit out of your life. To get to a new place, you have to leave the place that you currently are in. You cannot go where you want to go while still being where you are. And if where you are is a mess, you have unread text messages, unread emails, communication cycles that are left open because you're not following up, you're not cleaning your house, you're not taking responsibility for your car, what condition is your bedroom in, what does your nightstand look like? If you really want to get out of the rut, the environment around you has to change, and you are the only person who can change it. What's masterful about this is you could knock this out in 8 hours. This is not a 1 week project. This is not a month-long project. You could shut your computer right now and say, I'm gonna take control of my entire surroundings. And by tomorrow morning, I'm gonna wake up and I'm going to be in a brand new environment. That is what's required if you truly want to get unstuck. And here's the thing, I believe that you can get unstuck. There's no reason for you to continue to make sense of being upset with yourself, being frustrated with yourself, feeling down about what your life looks like. What's really cool for me, as I mentioned earlier, today is my birthday, and I made this cute little Instagram post earlier today about being really proud of myself. And I remember when I used to wake up on my birthday, every single birthday, and I would cry because at some point throughout the day, I would remember that I am getting older and I'm not getting closer to where I want to go. And it was painfully emotional for me. I couldn't get out of my own head around the other 364 days that I had spent this previous year, and the fact that I didn't do things that I needed to do in order to make my environment the way that I wanted it to be, in order to get out of the rut that I was in. And so on my birthday, it was just this fat freaking reminder to me of looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not any closer. So on this birthday, I'm not shedding a single freaking tear. I've never been more excited about my life, and I haven't cried on my birthday for at least 6 years because I decided to make a change, and I no longer listen to my own bullshit that being stuck is okay and that the disaster that was my environment is somebody else's job. It's my job. Your environment is your job. So let's figure out, how do you declutter your space, make it nice, feel good in it, actually respond to people when they reach out to you in a fast manner, get your inbox in a good place so people don't think that you're somebody that they just never get a hold of, and fully own the fact that you are not going to be the same person that you have been that feels like they're in a rut. Most people avoid looking at these areas because the truth can be uncomfortable. But when you are radically honest with each one of these categories, you can truly reset your life. If you found these tips helpful, check out my video on how to get unstuck if you're ambitious but a little lazy.